heritage, derby, treble. These are all the storylines going into the UCL semi-final predictions video. Cannot wait for these matchups. We got the Milan derby and a rematch of last season's semi-final between Man City and Real Madrid. Let's get into the video. Let me know your predictions in the comments down below. Hit the like button. It's the UCL semi-final. We better be hitting 200 likes on the video. Let's get into the predictions. The first game, it is a rematch of last year's semifinal. It is Man City going up against Real Madrid. Now, we all know the drama that happened last year between these two teams, where Rodrigo got 2 late goals and Benzema won it in extra time on a penalty, and Real Madrid advanced to the final and eventually became champions of Europe. Has Pep learned his lesson this time around? Although you could say Pep really didn't tactically lose that game. It was more the players kind of lost it and they bottled it. And Real Madrid showed their heritage once again. But is it different this time around? We see how Man City are playing. They look unstoppable. Scoring wise, defensively they look good. In transition, whether it's attacking or defensively, they are so good. And I think it's just how Pep has evolved into this 3 in the back formation where John Stones moves into the midfield and they create so many different attacking phases where then KDB can play as like the number 2 striker behind Haaland, and then Grealish is cooking. There is just so many variations when it comes to this Pep tactics, and that's why he's the best manager in the world, because he just evolves his team to his personnel and he keeps on getting better and better. But is there a liability in this Man City team? I wouldn't say there's a huge liability where I'm like, yeah, if Real Madrid can exploit it, they can win this game. I just think with Man City, it's always just about here. It's about the mental side. Can they overcome it? They know what they got. They got a great team. They're playing fantastic. They're playing with confidence. Can they just get over that mental lapse of Real Madrid? Well, they got Erling Haaland. And this guy is unstoppable. Will guarantee score. I think 2 goals in this tie. Whether it's 2 in one game or 1 in both legs, he is going to score. It's just about, can Man City limit the defensive mistakes, keep Vinicius quiet, but we see how Rodrigo is playing. Rodrigo right now, he could be a problem for this Man City team. So this is going to be such a fascinating battle. And what about for Real Madrid? Well, they're not playing the greatest, I would say, in La Liga. It's just, you give up 4 goals to Castellanos, an MLS legend. Then you go into the next game, Benzema scores a hat-trick and Rodrigo scores a great goal, but defensively you make mistakes. This is what Real Madrid have to do. You cannot make those easy mistakes in your own half and give Man City chances. If you do, they will punish you. They should have really won that tie last year, but they just were not clinical enough. Then Real Madrid in the second leg, they didn't really play the greatest until like the 90th minute. But I feel like with Real Madrid, they look better than last season. I genuinely do believe it. Can Camavinga keep playing that role so well at left back against, whether it's most likely going to be Bernardo Silva? Can he play well enough where then he's able to go forward as well and show his passing capabilities? This is going to be a lot of problems for Madrid, but I feel like they can also hurt City because in transition, with Benzema's hold-up play, with his link-up play, Vinicius, if he's going to go up against, let's say, Akanji, you kind of fancy Vinny, even though Akanji's been very good recently, but if it's Kyle Walker is going to have to do a fantastic job. But I look at Rodrigo. Now, he could be the difference maker as well. The midfield, they can do their work. This is going to be a massive test for Madrid. But it just seems when the bright lights of the Champions League, this team just show up. Doesn't matter how they play in La Liga. Doesn't matter how they play in the Copa del Rey final against Osasuna. If they lose it somehow, Real Madrid will turn up for the Champions League. Could this be the last campaign for Carlo? I think it will be. I don't know if he's going to be sacked or if he resigns or whatever is going to happen. But this could be the last dance for Carlo in the Champions League. Can he go out with the Champions League victory? This is going to be fantastic. I cannot wait because I think this is guaranteed goals. We have so much quality going forward. I just think it's their time. It's Man City's time. It is. They're just playing so well. Pep has figured out this team. There was just so many chopping and changing, tactics this, tactics that. But he has found his team. He has found the starting 11. He has found the formation. And I think they're cooking right now. And I think they will have a little bit too much for Real Madrid and advance to their second UCL final. If you thought the first semifinal was good, the second semifinal is a Milan derby. It is Inter taking on AC Milan. I cannot wait. This is football, people. A Milan derby in the semi-finals of the Champions League. You ask either fan base, would you expecting to make the semi-finals of the Champions League? I think most of them would say no. But they are here. And now they have an opportunity to play in the Champions League final this season. How do we even break this down? Well, it is always difficult to predict, these derby games because the old cliche, form goes out of the way. I just think with the way how both teams are going, this is 50-50. It really is. Milan, okay, attacking wise, they don't look so good and they're heavily reliant on Leao. But Inter, they make such sloppy mistakes and sometimes they're not clinical in front of goal. But I look at Milan, they're very good defensively. So what on earth is going to happen? This is why it's 50-50. You just don't know how it's going to go down. Who's going to dominate more of the ball? I would feel like Milan are going to try and kind of do what they did against Napoli and be a little bit more defensive, not, ultra defensive. It might be like 55% or 60% ball possession for Inter, but they're going to be like, Inter, you have the ball, we'll hit you on the counterattack. Who are the key players for both teams? Well, I think for Milan it's pretty obvious. It's Rafael Leao and Maignan. If Maignan can keep them quiet, Milan can win this tie. And if Leao is cooking, and we know Leao in a Milan derby, he likes to score goals. And we've seen Leao, he is performing better and better. And anytime he just gets on the ball recently, things happen. Whether it's finding a teammate or he's creating his own chance, Rafael Leao is doing so well. And for Inter, it is Barella. I absolutely love this player. Barella is just so key for his defensive work rate, link-up play, shots outside the box, crossing, and even looking at Lukaku. Like, Lukaku's playing a lot better. I think he is understanding, okay, I'm past the injuries, now it's time to perform. And it's his link-up plays doing better. He's finding a cross, assisting goals, getting goals. And I just think recently, Inter have found their shooting boots. They have now started to score more goals. Lautaro is picking up form at the right time of the season. I tell this every time. Lautaro is a hot and cold merchant. Great for 3 or 4 games, ice cold for 10 games. Well, he has gone past the ice age and now he's inferno. He's now heating up, and this is what Inter need. They need the fullbacks to play well. Di Marco, we know, has had a great season. Now, can Dumfries do the same thing? We know Dumfries. He has liabilities on the ball, but he can add that defensive work rate, especially going up against his nemesis, Theo Hernandez. We know these two like to have a battle with each other. This is going to be amazing, people. It's just the atmosphere at the San Siro. 2 historic teams fighting for a Champions League final. This is Fuji Ball. The atmosphere is going to be absolutely insanity. It's going to be insanity with the tifos, the flares, the players. They're going to give everything because they don't want to lose this. Okay, if you lose in the semifinals to, say, Real or Man City, you try your best, but if the other team was just too good, it's too good. You cannot lose to your rivals. That is the number one thing as a fan, as a player. You do not want to lose to your rivals because you're going to hear about it. Literally, I'm just 50-50 on this. I cannot say I confidently believe that this team is going to win, but I feel like Inter are going to win this. They have shown that they're a very good cup team under Inzaghi. Inzaghi versus Pioli is a great battle as well, tactically on how both teams will set up. But I just feel like Inter, they're picking up form at the right moment. Yes, Milan are doing well. I just think Inter have much more options going forward. They can get the goals. And defensively, while there is no Skriniar, Acerbi is doing well. Then, of course, then you have Bastoni. And then it's Darmian at the right center-back position. And I think Inter will advance to the UCL final. My UCL final prediction then is Inter going up against Manchester City. Not many predicted this final. And what a storylines we would have. Inter then hopefully going for their first Champions League since 2010. Man City trying to go for their first ever Champions League. Would be a great final. Whatever final we get, it is going to be great. I just cannot wait for both semi-finals because they're going to be epic. I really feel like they're going to be epic. We've had a quiet, not so dramatic UCL campaign. This semi-finals, I feel like it's going to be very, very interesting. Let me just say that, interesting. But if you haven't done so already, hit the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and let me know your predictions in the comments down below. Which 2 teams will be playing in the final in Istanbul? Have a beautiful day, stay safe in this crazy world, and until next time, adios.